Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 31 of the Hockey Variety Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Draft Lottery Reaction Special. That's right, the day is finally here. We will find out who is getting the first overall pick, and I guess the second and third and whatnot. We figure out what the order of the draft lottery is in about 20 minutes. And when I say 20 minutes, I mean about 40 minutes because they usually throw in a bunch of ads and stuff in there and delay it as much as possible. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. It's about 4:40 at the time I'm starting to record this, 4:40 Pacific. And yeah, as promised, if the Sharks win the draft lottery, get the first overall pick, I will definitely be posting my live reaction of this, the video and all of that. So hopefully that happens. If not, then whatever. It'll just be another episode of the podcast. Yeah, so I got some time to kill here. I am following along on actually the Hockey Guys stream. I don't know. I like watching his streams when it comes to these like big days in the NHL season or the NHL off season. And he does a really good job. So I just kind of like following his videos. I like what he does with the boards and all of that. So obviously I'm not going to show any of that on screen or anything. But on my other laptop, I do have his stream going. I'm going to pop on my headphones at the time of the draft lottery when it actually starts, and then we'll figure out who is going to be drafting in what order. So stay tuned for that. We are going to start today's episode, though, just kind of taking a look at the current playoff picture. Nothing too fancy today, really. Just going to look at the playoffs, going to take a look at the draft, maybe speculate a little bit, and then we'll find out who is drafting where, and that's going to be totally crazy. Like, one team's franchise is going to get totally flipped upside down as of today. I mean, Connor Bedard, he is a sure thing. He's not going to be a bust or anything like that. This is the next Crosby. This is the next McDavid. Not to put any kind of like pressure on him or anything. Not that anyone cares about this random podcast, but with 7 subscribers, no big deal. No big deal. And by the way, if you do like today's podcast, be sure to leave a like and a subscribe and all of that. Definitely would appreciate the support. I try to put out episodes every week, every 2 weeks, or not every 2 weeks, sorry, every week, maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, whatever I feel like. Depends how busy I am. These days, it's going to be a bit more like once a week because life is getting busy. Yeah, let's take a look at the playoff picture just while we kill some time here. So quite a bit has changed since our last episode. So maybe I'll start with New Jersey and New York and just take a look at how that is going. So, yeah, New Jersey the New Jersey Devils beat the New York Rangers in Game 7. It was a 4-0 win, completely ruining my bracket even more than I already did. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, my bracket's looking pretty bad right now. I mean, let's see how I did here. So, how many did I get right? I got Dallas right. That's 1. Vegas, Edmonton. Okay, so I did okay in the West, 3 for 4. And then the East, I got the Leafs right, and that was it. So yeah, I went 4 for 8 in my first round picks. Not looking good. And then you would have seen all my predictions from the last episode. I picked Seattle, Edmonton, Toronto. More on that later. And who did I pick between the Devils? I think I picked Carolina. So, overall my picks are looking okay up to this point, other than Toronto. But yeah, congrats to the Devils. The Devils had a really good game last night, or I guess yesterday during the day. I think it was 8-4. Pretty crazy game. Luke Hughes making his playoff debut. Very happy for him and the Devils. But they still got some work to do here. They're still behind in that series against Carolina. 2-1. Game 4 is, I think, tomorrow night. Might be the night after. I think it's tomorrow night. I don't know. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I can't really check my phone right now because it's a little occupied here. But either way, New Jersey has some work to do. And then we look at the other series. The Toronto Maple Leafs. They're down 3-0 in the series. Their starting goalie's injured. Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares have all been invisible this series. I mean, I think this is more the Panthers doing great. And we see this trend between like teams winning the President's Trophy and then not that playoffs, but like in following years, go on to win a Stanley Cup. And I think maybe that's what's going on with the Panthers here. The Panthers might be looking at the Stanley Cup here uh, as soon as June, which would be just crazy, right? I don't know why I said it like that. As soon as June, everybody wins the Stanley Cup in June. But anyways, yeah, the Panthers, they're looking like a team that could go all the way to the Stanley Cup. I think really they've been on fire. It's crazy to think we might have a Florida Seattle Stanley Cup final, which is just insane. I'm here for it though. Seriously, I'm really happy with the teams that are left. Usually there's like one or two teams, I don't really like or whatever, and they're still in the mix, but I'm actually very happy with the teams that are left. Um, if I was just going off of like, what would be my ideal Stanley Cup at this point? Like, it'd probably be Seattle, Florida. Yeah, that'd probably be it, really. But I do want to see the Oilers do well. I think the Oilers are due for a Stanley Cup with this core of McDavid and Draisaitl. But they have to beat the Vegas Golden Knights first. So that series is tied 1-1. And yeah, I don't have much more to talk about the Leafs, really, though. It's just, that's it. I mean, the Leafs are probably done. Probably going to be some big moves in the offseason, really. And I don't think this is helping their case of keeping Austin Matthews around in the offseason. Not this offseason, next offseason, because they're going to have to re-sign him to a new contract. And yeah, they need to have some serious success if they're going to keep him around. And I don't think a round 2 loss this year and maybe a round 2 loss next year is going to do it. This is not looking good for the Leafs if they are planning on keeping Austin Matthews around, because that seems to be a main talking point on this podcast. But yeah, Edmonton, Vegas, tied 1-1. Crazy series so far. Game 2 was nuts. Regardless of which way this goes, it should be entertaining. I still like the Oilers. Draisaitl's on pace to break the goals record. I didn't know it was 19. I thought it was more than that. Because at first I was like, okay, calm down. He's just on a heater. But no, he's like 6 goals away from the all-time playoff record in goals, which is insane. So yeah, exciting series. I still like the Oilers though. They're heading home. Games 3 and 4 in Edmonton coming up real soon. And then Seattle, Dallas, Seattle had a big win at home last night. 7-2 victory in game 3 against Dallas. Good for them. Yeah. That's awesome. Seattle is crazy. This team that went from having 60 points last season to, having the lead in the series in the second round. They might be going to at least a conference final here. What a turnaround. Seriously, very happy for that franchise. Yeah, and I know if they're winning the cup, I'm getting myself a Seattle jersey. Those are sick jerseys. And yeah, we might have a Seattle Edmonton West Finals. We might have a Seattle Vegas West Finals. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, lots of excitement going on in the NHL. I think I'm just gonna pause until the draft lottery here. Yeah, or maybe I'll just do kind of a quick breakdown of it all beforehand here. All right, let's take a look at the draft lottery odds for each of these teams. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff going on here. Now, I've done some simulations on Tankathon, the draft lottery website, unofficial one, but they seem to be on top of stuff. And one thing that interests me is if one of those teams, like below Vancouver, so Ottawa, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Nashville, Calgary, I'm very interested to see if one of those teams moves up in the draft. That would be really interesting, and how that would impact their fortunes and what they look like. It's like what their team might look like next season. Because obviously none of those teams below Vancouver are in contention for Connor Bedard, but they are in contention for picking up a really good player. When I did my little mock draft on the last episode of the podcast, we saw Buffalo move up. Now imagine a team like Buffalo that has that exciting young core, and then you inject like a Leo Carlson or someone like that in there, or Michkov. That'd be so insane. Really, or even like Ottawa getting like a Fantilli. That would just be so nuts. So those teams I'm definitely going to be watching too. There is a chance one of them could move up. And even you look at teams like a team like Calgary that had a really tough time this season, kind of staying relevant. Well, they're going to have a new coach, and I think they're getting a new GM. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about that, but I know they fired their coach. They fired Sutter like a week or two ago now. So I mean, you consider that, and then like a young possible superstar player. Not to give Flames fans much hope in this draft lottery here, even though this is going to get posted after the fact. But that would just be so insane, just seeing one of those 5 teams moving up in the draft. It could definitely happen. It's not a 0% chance. It could definitely happen, though odds are we do see one of these teams, that finish worse in the regular season move up. So, yeah, I mean, I post this on Facebook too. Like I'm really glad that Chicago, there's an 88.5% chance they don't get Bedard, which is reassuring. I don't think people really want to see Bedard go to Chicago and then Chicago go on to have another little mini dynasty like they had before. I don't really think many people want that, but hey, of my like 3 favorite teams, they're all in the top 6 there in the draft lottery odds. So there's a pretty good chance that a team that I cheer for could move up. Hopefully the San Jose Sharks. So we're looking at a 9.5% chance the Sharks moving up. I mean, the Sharks, they could draft as high as 1st, they could draft as low as 6th, which is a scary thought. This is a huge draft for the San Jose Sharks. I mean, this has been a team that's been kind of mediocre for a while, and then more recently have been bad. And they need that superstar, but that can be said for a lot of teams here too. Either way, teams like Anaheim and Columbus, they're gonna get a really, really good player no matter what here. But yeah, exciting stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see how this all unfolds. I am gonna be reacting to each pick as they come up. On my little screen here. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording for now, and then I will jump right back in once the draft lottery gets going here. All right, just started. Calgary's at 16, so Calgary did not move up. All right, so Calgary's at 16. Nothing changes there at all. Nashville stays at 15. Okay, so no changes there. It's kind of what we expected. Very low odds. So, yeah, nothing going on there. I think I'm going to taking the headphone off of the Hockey Guys stream here so I can actually hear myself a bit better. Pittsburgh stays at 14. Okay, so nothing changes there. Will we see any movement amongst the Ottawa Senators or the Buffalo Sabres? We'll find out in a second here. Okay, Buffalo stays at 13. Okay, so they don't move up at all, as expected. Yeah, didn't expect. It's kind of what we expected from there. So. Okay, so the Ottawa pick does not change. So that means Arizona is going to get Ottawa's 1st round pick at 12th overall this season. So yeah, nothing changes there. I'm just going to have a sip of water while this is going. Will the Vancouver Canucks get Bedard? Or even move up to 2nd? Judging from the Hockey Guys reaction. Nope. Vancouver does not win the draft lottery. They stay at 11. Okay, so no big surprises yet. No big surprises just yet. St. Louis stays at 10. Yeah, so St. Louis drafting 10th overall this season. That's pretty good for them. St. Louis moving up in the draft lottery. Or not moving up, sorry. St. Louis doing pretty well for themselves. 10th overall. Not bad. And Detroit stays at 9. Still a pretty good pick for the Detroit Red Wings, but they do not move up in the draft lottery. putting the headphone on here. Okay, Capitals do not move up either. The Capitals stay at 8th overall. So yeah, no big surprises at all at this point. Okay, Philly stays at 7. Okay, so the Philadelphia Flyers will not be getting Connor Bedard. Next up, we have the Arizona Coyotes. What's going to happen with them? Yeah, wonder what's going to happen with the Coyotes here. They could definitely use a first overall pick. But it's not this year. Arizona's staying at 6 this year. So they are staying at 6 overall. I'm getting anxious here. We're getting closer and closer to the Sharks. Montreal stays at 5. Okay, the Sharks are still in it. We're coming up to the Sharks here. Top 4, no one's moved up yet. Montreal stays at 5. Oh man, I'm getting nervous here. We're at the Sharks. What's going to happen? San Jose stays at 4. Oh, bummer. 4's better than 6, but 4's not Bedard. That's heartbreaking. Is it going to be Chicago? Oh, I hope it's not Chicago. Oh, no. Okay, it's going to be a commercial break. So, yeah, I'm just going to pause here and, yeah, just kind of digest. Well, I might as well record it while they're on commercial break here. But, the Sharks. The Sharks not getting first overall. That is, I mean, 4th is good, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe Will Smith, maybe Michkov. I don't know. The Sharks they're going to want to draft someone that's kind of fitting their timeline. I don't know if Michkov does, but we are down to the final 3 teams and nobody's moved up yet. So we have the Ducks, we have the Blue Jackets, and we have the Chicago Blackhawks. And one of those teams will get Connor Bedard. I really hope it's not the Blackhawks. I mean, the Ducks I'd be okay with. I know they're divisional rivals with the Sharks, but hey, they finished dead last. That's how the draft lottery usually works. The worst team, they have the best odds. So, I wouldn't be too upset if Anaheim got him. But, if the Blackhawks got Bedard, that'd be heartbreaking. And, of course, I'd be happy if the Columbus Blue Jackets got Bedard. I would be thrilled. But it's not the Sharks. It's not going to be the Sharks this year. That's too bad. Hopefully they'll get a good player at 4th, though. Maybe one of the better players in the draft here. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't been doing too much scouting either on the draft. I don't really know much outside of Connor Bedard, but who doesn't know about Connor Bedard and how big of a deal he's going to be? But either Anaheim, Columbus, or the Chicago Blackhawks, their fortunes are going to completely change here. And for Chicago, this might completely escalate their rebuild. For Anaheim, this could give them the piece that gets them back, maybe even to contention as soon as next season. And same with the Blue Jackets. I mean, the Blue Jackets are just one piece away, I think, from being right back into the mix. They have to address some issues in the offseason, yes. But with Bedard, I think this is a team that's going to be looking for playoffs again next season. We will see. Okay, I'm going to check in on the stream here, see how things are going. It looks like there's still commercial break in here. Yeah, okay, so probably another minute or so out here, but yeah, crazy. No surprises at all. Kind of making my speculation look a bit silly here at the start of the episode, talking about teams moving up, and here we are. There's just the 3 teams left, the 3 teams that had the best odds. And this is how the draft lottery process should work, right? So, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm hearing rumblings of some movement here. But I don't think it started yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought I heard something about Columbus moving down to 3. That would be worrisome, I must say. I mean, I have said in previous episodes that, Chicago's probably the team that needs Bedard the most. But I mean, again, as a Sharks fan, I just don't want to see Chicago get them. It's tough. They've broken my heart so many times as a Sharks fan. Here we go. Number 3. Okay, Columbus did drop to 3, which means Chicago's going 1 or 2. So Columbus is not winning the draft lottery. That makes me upset as a Blue Jackets fan here. Oh man. Okay, who's getting number 1 here? Here we go. The delay is killing me. The tension. Okay, so number 1, it's either Anaheim or Chicago. Here we go. Chicago wins the draft. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, the hockey gods. Oh, the hockey gods. Of course. Of course, this is how it was going to go down. Chicago. Oh. Oh my God, Chicago. Oh man, I am just broken here. I'm gonna pause the podcast here and we'll just kind of just digest what went down here. All right, so here we go. Yeah, Chicago going first overall, getting Connor Bedard, and then the Anaheim Ducks, and then the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then the Sharks getting 4th. And the fourth overall pick is better than 6, but man, this team that has just destroyed me over the years. All of these years where the Sharks were in contention for the Stanley Cup and the Chicago Blackhawks, that they strike again. They just keep breaking the hearts of Sharks fans year after year after year. But I got to blame myself a little bit. I've said this on the podcast so many times. Chicago is the team that needs Bedard the most, okay? In terms of this rebuild, even with Bedard, they're still going to be rebuilding next year, and this piece is definitely going to escalate things. Oh, man, Chicago. But hey, the hockey gods. I knew it. I knew it too. I woke up today and I'm like, yeah, the hockey gods, it's going to be Chicago, but I'll tell myself, well, maybe one of my teams. Maybe the Sharks, maybe the Blue Jackets, maybe the Coyotes, maybe even someone kind of cool like Montreal. That would be cool, right? Or one of those random teams like Washington or Vancouver or something like that. But no. Oh God, man, I'm heartbroken, man. I'm emotional. Oh, okay, I should end the episode. This is yeah, this is just so frustrating. But it's the way it goes. Ugh. Chicago. Ugh. All right, that's it for episode 31. Chicago Blackhawks fans, if you're listening, congratulations, really. I mean, it kills me. I hope you're happy with your 3 Stanley Cups. I hope you're happy with more Stanley Cups to come here right away. But man, Chicago. Ugh. Okay, well, if you somehow enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like and subscribe on YouTube. We got an Instagram page, Hockey Variety Podcast on Instagram. We're on Facebook as well, Hockey Variety Podcast on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. I'll chat with you when I chat with you. Life's getting busy, so we'll have to see when. But I thought this draft lottery reaction was going to be, I was going to be so psyched. The Sharks getting their first overall pick, but Chicago. Oh, okay. Thanks for watching.